Okay, so we are actually at the eyebrow part, and I've already told you that we are gonna do the same thing with the eyebrow as well. So I am just gonna do all the stuff manually. We have the hairs. Let's actually use the snake hook brush to elongate them because the hairs on the eyebrows are actually gonna be a bit more lengthier. Let's actually add these that I've already added, and now we are just gonna use the snake hook brush to basically increase the length and give them the shape. Also, you can see I have already opened up the reference on the side. So this is basically what we are gonna follow. Now again, we cannot actually see each and every single hairs in the eyebrows, but we can see the some sort of directionality that we can follow. So this is basically the reason we have this reference opened so that we actually can see the directionality of the hairs. This is what we are going to be following. So as you can see, again, just doing everything manually. This process is also going to be the same. I am just going to make sure that all the directionality, all the forms of the hairs are actually going to be correct. Also, the density needs to be correct. So these are some of the stuff that I'll actually look for, and let's see how it goes. Okay, so in this particular case, as you can see that I also have some of the reference opened where you can see each and every single individual hairs. And the reason that I have these opened is so that I can closely see how exactly the hairs are supposed to look. And I think I'll actually just put those references on my second screen so that I basically can just on the side and just start adding the hairs, and you can clearly see that I am also looking the hairs from the top so that the hairs does not like come out of the surface like a spine. This is something important with the eyebrows. You need to make sure that the volume of the eyebrows actually stays consistent, and in order to do that you always need to make sure that the hairs that you are adding actually have those volumes and it just does not shoot out like a spike. That is something that you need to make sure that you always get right. So yeah, you can clearly see the reference as well and how I am following both of these reference to see the directionality and how each and every single one of these hairs are behaving. This is like one of those things, again, it's pretty similar thing. I'm just gonna do all the things manually, just looking at the reference and try to make sure that each of these hairs that I'm actually grooming makes sense, and each one of these hairs basically represent what we are seeing. So again, I don't really think that I have stuff to say. Like I'm just gonna look at the reference and trying to just create the hairs in that particular area. But yeah, you can see that both of these eyebrows are actually so different. You can see that in this particular guy, the eyebrows width is a bit too much. Like you can see it is literally like 2 fingers wide eyebrow, which is not something that we have in our Amit G reference. So yeah, you can see the difference on the width. In the first reference, we are only going to look at the hairs closely and follow them. But in this reference, we are actually going to be looking at the directionality. So these are some of the stuff that we are basically going to get from both of these references. Let's actually just start grooming manually, which I already have. And I'm just gonna, again, just gonna go I'll come back if anything important were to come up. Oh, wait, before I go, I actually want to say something. Just in case if you are wondering, the way that I'm actually grooming this stuff is pretty simple. Before adding any of these hairs, any of the new hair, I just press Alt A and that just deselect everything. And you're gonna see that in the moment, by the way. I'll actually just press Alt A and that is going to deselect everything. As you can see, everything is deselected. And now I have added the new hair, which is the selected one. And that way I can just groom that particular hair only. This is also one of those things that I've done with the eyelashes as well. Okay, so we are actually done with another video, and I know both of these videos were kind of boring and kind of manual, but in the future videos we basically have gotten the newer version, and I'm actually gonna explain you more. That's pretty much it. This was all manual. The next one is gonna be much more interesting, and I'll actually talk about more stuff. So yes, I am gonna see you in the next one, and yeah, bye bye.